is up, guys? EJ here, back with another video, and today it's gonna be my Blu-ray DVD update for December 28th, 2013. Basically what I got for Christmas. Sorry it's a few days late. I've been really busy with work since Christmas Day. Very tired actually this week, and yeah, I wanted to wait on a couple things before I did this video and show you guys what I got for Christmas. I got some Blu-rays, mostly from this year, and a couple of bonuses that I'm going to talk about as well. So let's get started. First time I've had a chance to talk about movies that have come out this year, because I haven't bought any films from 2013. I'm still catching up on movies that I still need to get from 2012, if you've seen my recent Blu-ray updates. But this is what I always do. I always ask for new movies that have come out in the year at Christmas time. And so one of them is the comedy The Internship, with Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn. Play two guys whose business venture has failed. They sell watches and it's not working out, and they need to look for new jobs, and they basically apply online to be interns at the offices of Google, which are quite near me, in fact, in Santa Clara. I was really actually kind of pleasantly surprised by this film. Going into it, I didn't think the previews looked that great, but there's something about these two guys and the chemistry they have, Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn, of course teaming up after their great success on Wedding Crashers, which is a comedy I absolutely love. Yeah, this was loads of fun. Very quirky, very cool. Some cool dialogue and some interesting supporting characters. Of course, when they start at Google, they get teamed up with basically all the losers of all these interns vying for just a few jobs, and then they have to compete in all these competitions, various degrees of difficulty, app solving stuff, and program writing. There's even a game of Quidditch, which is really cool. Yeah, just loads of fun, and it's all basically off the energy of Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. They're the two who really carry this film. It's got some nice touching moments towards the end of the movie, and like I said, the supporting cast is loads of fun too. Rose Byrne is in it as well. Yeah, I enjoyed The Internship. Okay, up next we have a pretty divisive film, I think. I know a lot of people either loved it or didn't like it. Hard to say for me. And that is Man of Steel. Got the 3D edition, of course, directed by Zack Snyder. Basically a reboot of Superman, one of the most highly anticipated films of the year, with Henry Cavill in the title role, of course. Really great cast, I will say that. Let me go through them. Russell Crowe, Diane Lane as the parents on Krypton. You've got Amy Adams as Lois Lane. Kevin Costner as the father on Earth. Michael Shannon, of course, as General Zod. Who else is in this? Lawrence Fishburne. I don't even remember Lawrence Fishburne being in this. Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a spectacular looking film. But the first half of it seemed very like it didn't really feel like a proper comic book Superman movie to me. Watching it, it just felt like sort of any old sort of spectacular sci-fi film that's been made in the past few years. It was a little bit too heavy on that, I thought. Michael Shannon was good as General Zod. I thought the two best performances actually in the film were Russell Crowe and Kevin Costner, and they're gone like halfway into it, which is kind of disappointing. But I thought those two were the best in this movie. Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of the Superman character, to be honest. I mean, I love the original, the first, and the second. This is a lot like the second movie, I guess. Superman 2, which is awesome. I know a lot of people hated Superman Returns, but I kind of like that film, and this was entertaining, spectacular effects, like I said, good cast, but I don't know, something just didn't feel right about it not being a proper Superman film to me. Okay, up next, one of my favorite films of the year, has been for a long time, one and one of my favorite sci-fi films of the year. I'm a huge sci-fi fan, and lots of good and interesting sci-fi films have come out this year. Half of them I haven't seen yet, but one of my favorites was Oblivion, directed by, I'm gonna mess his name up, so I'm gonna look it up. Um, Joseph Kosinski, I believe is his name. Of course, starring Tom Cruise, Morgan Freeman, Olga Kurylenko. Takes place in a post-apocalyptic Earth. Everybody's left, and Tom Cruise is part of this basically two-man cleanup crew, sort of monitoring things and monitoring these things that extract the Earth's resources that they're still using. Really interesting. The twist sort of halfway through the film really sort of makes this movie. I thought the sets and the way it looked was spectacular. The action was great. I really like the girl who plays opposite Tom Cruise throughout most of the film. She was in We. She played Mrs. Simpson in We. I don't know her name offhand as well. Andrea Roseborough, British actress. I thought she was really good opposite Tom Cruise. Yeah, I just really dug this. This is my kind of sci-fi film. I know it sort of takes a lot of stuff from other sci-fi films and sorts of puts them together in this movie, but I thought it was done really well. Tom Cruise, Morgan Freeman, great as well, always. I really dug Oblivion. It's one of my favorite movies of the year so far. Okay, up next, one of two ridiculous, stupid action movies about terrorists, whatever, taking over the White House, and that is Olympus Has Fallen. Every time during the trailer when I'd hear Olympus Has Fallen. Every time, it always cracked me up the way they said it. The guy who said it. But yeah, fun movie, of course, starring Gerard Butler. Again, Morgan Freeman, and Aaron Eckhart as the president. Gerard Butler, former Secret Service agent who's part of the president's detail, and then one night on the way back to the White House, the president's wife gets killed, played by was it Ashley Judd. She gets killed during a car accident, and then of course he sort of goes off, gets thrown off the detail, whatever, sort of goes his own way, and then is called back into action when North Korean terrorists take over the White House. Of course, the other film that came out this year, similar story, was White House Down, which I didn't get in this update, but I will get at some point because I like that film a little bit more. This film, it sort of took itself a little bit more seriously, I thought. The action in the scene in this film, especially the first part when the Koreans attacked the White House, those were awesome. I don't think any of the action scenes in White House Down topped those. And Gerard Butler has a lot of great lines in this movie, sort of like a filthy mouth John McClane in the White House, sort of Die Hard in the White House. He has a lot of cool lines. But I just thought White House Down was a little bit more fun. It was more the sort of the teaming up of Channing Tatum and Jamie Foxx as the president. They just had a little bit better chemistry, I thought, and that film just was a little bit more fun. But I liked them both, but I liked White House Down a little bit more. So that's Olympus Has Fallen. Okay, up next, not an action movie or spectacular sci-fi film. We have Side Effects, directed by Steven Soderbergh. Great cast, of course. Rooney Mara, Jude Law, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Channing Tatum. Really interesting psychological thriller. Rooney Mara's husband gets murdered by Rooney Mara, of course. But it's sort of, she's in this shocked psychological state, and she doesn't remember doing it at all. Channing Tatum plays the husband, and Jude Law plays this psychiatrist who's come under investigation for giving her drugs and stuff. But it's really clever, great twist towards the end. Just a sort of master acting class by all these four people. Just a really cool thriller. I dug it. Always been a huge fan of Catherine Zeta-Jones, one of my favorite actresses for a long time now, since The Mask of Zorro. Like Jude Law a lot as well, and Channing Tatum, he's not in it much, which is perfectly fine. And Rooney Mara, obviously showed her chops in films like The Social Network and The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. So good to see her in more things like this as well. Steven Soderbergh, a very accomplished director. Really good film. I dug Side Effects. Okay, up next, another spectacular sci-fi summer blockbuster, and one of the best. I thought it's in my top 5 of the year so far. Again, I haven't seen any new movies basically since August onwards. I'm still catching up on Netflix. I did see The Hobbit though last week. But anyway, we have Star Trek Into Darkness, of course directed by J.J. Abrams, the follow-up to the was it 2009 version of Star Trek, which was a lot of fun. I really dug it. I thought it was a great reboot of the franchise, and I've never hated Star Trek, or I just was never into it. I never watched it. I've seen it here and there, but I was never really a fan. But I really liked the reboot from a few years ago. Great young cast, just a good chemistry between all those actors. Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Simon Pegg, Carl Urban, Zoe Saldana. Yeah, so I was really looking forward to this, and it didn't disappoint at all. I thought this was even better than the first one. Spectacular action and storyline. Of course, introduced the now world famous Benedict Cumberbatch, who seems to be in everything at the moment. I thought he was great in this, but I will say I thought it was very odd that his voice sort of changes halfway through the film. He has that sort of big, ominous tone, and that you saw a lot in the trailers and stuff. And then when he's like captured and talking behind the glass, it's completely different. I thought it was very weird that his voice changed like that. And of course there was a big controversy about what his actual character name was, and I didn't know that going into the film, so I thought it was a nice surprise. But I wasn't really shocked, since this is the second film, of course. I'm not going to say the character's name, but I dug it. I thought it was great. Yeah, I loved everything about this film. Alice Eve, of course, great eye candy as well. Yeah, I really dug this film, Star Trek Into Darkness, one of my favorites of the year as well. Okay, up next, another one of my favorites of the year, sort of a common theme. I like pick all my favorite movies that I have so far and put those on my wish list. One of the best comedies of the year, and that is This Is the End. Of course, a great apocalyptic comedy starring all these great, fun, young actors who all play themselves, of course. Jay Baruchel lives in Canada. He's coming out to LA to visit his old friend Seth Rogen and hang out at their pad, smoke weed, and just hang out. And then, of course, they get invited to a party that's being thrown by James Franco. All these celebs are there. You've got Michael Cera, hilarious in his cameo. Who else? I'm going to fuck up all these names. Jonah Hill, big fan of Jonah Hill, of course. Danny McBride and Craig Robinson, of course. Emma Watson makes a great cameo halfway through the film. Her scenes are just hilarious. Of course, it all goes to shit during the middle of this party. The rapture starts, and people start getting sucked up into the sky by crazy blue lights, and all kinds of mayhem breaks out. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was completely hilarious. These actors, these guys, they're just friends making a movie, having a good time. You can tell that these guys hang out and they're buddies, and they made a movie basically about the end of the world, and I thought it was hilarious. It's got some really interesting kind of touching moments, especially with the effects of the actual rapture. There was some really cool stuff they did with that. Yeah, really surprising as far as that goes, but it's really these guys making all these great jokes about each other and pop culture and that kind of stuff. Yeah, Emma Watson's appearance in the middle of the film is hilarious. Just a very fun movie, and one of my favorite comedies of the year. Okay, up next, film very special for many reasons, and I really liked it. But my girl Marcy, Supergirl, Marcy Papandrea is very related to this film, in a big way, and I want to talk about that as well. But the film is Warm Bodies. Um, Really fun sort of zombie romance comedy. The reason I say it's a big deal for my friend Marcy, her sister Bruna actually produced this film. It was her who championed this movie and got it made, and so I was really proud of Marcy and her sister when this came out, and it did really well, which I was really happy about. Nicholas Hoult really good as the zombie, the young zombie, who starts coming back to life when he meets Teresa Palmer's character in this apocalyptic, the remnants of a apocalyptic world in this airport where he and his friend Rob Corddry hangs out. Really interesting performance because he can't really do much. He can't really move. He can't talk. He can just grunt and stares blankly into space. Nicholas Hoult, I thought, was really good in 2 movies this year, and this is one of them. Warm Bodies, really loads of fun, interesting take on the whole zombie genre. John Malkovich, really cool as the dad, the military dad who just wants to wipe them all out, doesn't believe that they can change and all that kind of stuff. Really a fun film. And yeah, my friend Marcy, her sister produced it, so thank them for getting this movie made. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that. I'm sure she'll see this and be thrilled that I got it. Yeah, the other film I really like Nicholas Hoult in, which I didn't get in this update, but I'm looking forward to picking up, is Jack the Giant Slayer. I really enjoyed that film. I don't understand why it did so poorly. He was great in that too. So a good year for this young guy who was great in About a Boy 11 years ago with Hugh Grant. So good to see him growing up. Teresa Palmer really good in this as well. I thought she was wonderful in this. Warm Bodies, good movie. Okay, so that is the Blu-rays. I also got a DVD TV series, season 4 of the A-Team. So I've got one more season to go to pick up. I've only still watched like all of season 1 and part of season 2 when I started to rewatch this. But of course, classic show from the 80s, absolutely love it. Gotta pick up the first season as well. Okay, now on to the bonuses. A little taste of home. I got a flake from my sister, Cadbury's Flake, my all-time favorite candy bar, Cadbury's Crunchy. Little taste of England right there. Thought I'd throw these in. I haven't eaten these since I got them on Christmas Day, so you know how hard that must have been for me. I also got a couple of calendars. I like to get movie-themed calendars for Christmas for the next year. I always do every year. At least I try to. So I got the Hobbit, the Desolation of Smaug wall calendar for next year. It's got lots of great pictures of all the cast and so on. You got yeah, that's basically the movie poster sort of. Then you got Legolas, February, the month of my birth. So Legolas was awesome in The Hobbit. Awesome to see Legolas, Orlando Bloom, back in Middle Earth. He was just awesome in The Hobbit, and so really stoked to get that. I also got a really sweet cinema noir sort of movie poster calendar. I will say a lot of these movies aren't, I wouldn't consider film noir, but they're really great. So we got The Third Man, awesome film, one of my favorites, actually my favorite film noir. Got Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, North by Northwest, another Hitchcock film. Citizen Kane, classic of course, one of the all-time best films ever made. The Big Sleep, also one of my favorite film noirs with Bogart and Bacall. And Gangsters, which I've never seen, with Burt Lancaster and Ava Gardner. So yeah, there's more like that on the back. See what else we got. We got Les Diaboliques. I believe that's the 1955 French film. King Kong, the original King Kong. The Killer That Stalked New York. The Creature Walks Among Us. That's a cool looking poster right there. That's that one. Dracula, and Hitchcock Psycho. So 3 Hitchcock films in this. Yeah. So I've got to have a couple movie calendars for the upcoming year. So there you go. That is what I got for Christmas. I hope everybody had a great holiday and got lots of movies, Blu-rays, DVDs, whatever your heart desires, and everybody had a great time with their families and friends. Hope everybody has a great 2014 coming up. It's going to be a good year for movies, I hope, because I kind of thought 2013 was a little disappointing, at least what I've seen so far. So thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll see you.